Tootsies.
Is riveting making rivets?
The good question.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
No, that is making.
If you're making rivets, aren't you riveting?
No, the verb is making.
What?
Rivets is what you're making.
Right. So if you're making rivets, aren't you riveting?
No.
Shut
because
up.
It's not a verb.
It absolutely makes sense.
It does not make any sense.
It makes theoretical sense. I realize it's not grammatically correct.
Well, sure, but like riveting is also a word in and of itself. So
right. It means amazing.
Exciting.
This is exciting. This is gripping.
Yeah.
But if you're making rivets, you're riveting.
That's not true.
Steve?
Daddy Yankee, we've got a question for you, Cornwallis.
What?
Steve's just been
Steve's
checking
riveting.
it in.
So far, this has been riveting, guys.
Is making rivets.
The act of riveting.
We already did this, dude.
It's the act of
Riveting.
riveti.
Look how you spelled it. Riveting. Riveting. No.
Are you looking it up?
Basic rivets.
Let's start a show called Basic Rivets.
Instead of basic bitches, it's basic rivets. A rivet is a permanent mechanical fastener. So if you're making rivets, you're riveting.
Yeah. No.
We don't need to talk any
I'm out.
farther. I realize that it's not true, but it's a fun thing to think about, you freaking
Chorm Yeradevs.
goddamn socialist.
How do I look right now, dude? You haven't told me how I look. You haven't complimented me on my outfit
I'm
today.
not gonna even speak on it. It's
Steve,
like,
You look great, sweetie.
thank you.
you're just always wearing my clothing.
Well, sorry, Alan. I moved from my home in New York City 7 months ago with a backpack and have 3 outfits otherwise.
The best part is that if we were to go to Julian's apartment in New York, there wouldn't be any clothes in it.
Yeah, dude, there's plenty. I'm going to go back home and be like, oh my God, I forgot I had this
You
stuff.
have 3 silk dress shirts that you bought because you needed to
Silk
audition in
dress
them.
shirts. I don't have any. I wish I had some silk dress shirts. I've been living out of my backpack for 7 months
Okay,
with you.
shut up. Riveting techniques from Gwen.
Yeah,
Youngblood.
riveting techniques.
Riveting
like the
techniques.
techniques are what are riveting.
No, plain
Yes.
wire rivet, basic rivet for jewelry making, riveting techniques. Daddy Boy Stone gets an A+.
Why? Just because it's they're
It means it's
mispronouncing?
true. No, they're not mispronouncing. It's a
What, 'cause
headline
it's-
on Google. It means it's
Damn.
true.
This company, Halsteads, are a bunch of idiots, ingrades,
Jewelry
cornucopias.
riveting. Gwen Youngblood's jewelry riveting cold connection techniques
Listen
make
to
it
that.
easier than ever for everyone to master a basic wire rivet, a ball rivet, as well as riveting to set bezel cups.
That is the literal dumbest sentence I've ever seen in my life.
What?
God damn it.
Her name's Gwyneth
These
Youngblood.
riveting techniques are adapted from her Riveting Essentials class. Riveting is capitalized as well as essentials, bro. A-Stone's right on this one, baby.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
It's riveting. How you boys been? What's the scoop?
I'll tell you. Oh, man.
I'll tell you.
It's Friday night, dude. Right now while we're recording, this is Friday night.
What are you getting into besides?
Dude, I'm going to get a haircut
Yeah.
tonight,
Riveting
dude.
stuff.
I'm going to get a haircut. I might have another IPA. I had an IPA with this.
Steve's about 45 minutes from waking up still.
I know.
It's going to
I
be
know.
a real bar buster.
Yeah, it's Friday night, man. I'm thinking I'm making preparations to go back to New York. You're going to Australia. We're getting ready to depart from each other, man.
Yeah.
You too, Steve.
I'm not departing anywhere.
I know you're sticking around, but yeah, we're all gonna separate for a little while. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I'm definitely not looking forward to being on a airplane with a face mask for 15 hours.
Yeah.
We have to quarantine for 2 weeks in a hotel.
I know, that's gonna be crazy with a
with
2-year-old.
a 2-year-old. And like Rudy is, God bless him, he's starting to hit this stage where he's just like, all these emotions are coursing through his body and he doesn't know how to express them. And so he just
Throwing
has
tanties.
tantrums. And he was having a ripe one today. He wants constantly, every day we get in the hot tub. We have a hot tub sesh, and I have a little towel warmer in the shed. There's a shed right next to the
Thing's great.
hot tub.
I don't use it.
And I pick him up out of the hot tub. I go to get the towel out of the towel warmer, and he goes, brum, brum, which for everybody who doesn't have a 2-year-old, brum, brum, in my household means pressure washer. Dad, get the pressure washer out. I want to play with the pressure washer every day. Scout's honor every day. He wants to get the pressure washer out. And I'm constantly like, no, not today, buddy. We're not going to pressure washer today. Well, today he was not having it. He wanted to brum, brum, really badly. And prior to us leaving, he was throwing down, bro, straight up John Cena style, dude.
You're gonna have to get a pressure washer for your hotel room that you're gonna be stuck in for 2 weeks, so he can spray you, so you can have some type of stimulation.
Excuse me. It's interesting because Taz and I try to do our best to not let Rudy watch TV.
Right.
And we do pretty well at it, actually. Like, I think, growing up, I didn't watch a ton of TV, but I definitely have been around young kids who are in front of the TV quite a bit. We do pretty good at it. But it's insane, dude, how yoked up he gets if he doesn't get to watch some TV.
Oh, dude.
Like, if he thinks that there's a chance he's going to get to watch some TV, and then we're just like, no, you're not watching TV, buddy. I'm sorry. We're going to do something else. Bro, TV is some special kind of beast. And
it's effective.
It makes total sense. I mean, when you turn on the TV, you just like, your brain gets numb. You're just like, watching networks. And because we're attempting to do our best to not put him in front of the TV, that, like, too much, right? We let him watch TV. He's got this one show called Bluey that he loves. Shout out to Bluey and all your creators. You made the greatest child cartoon of all time. It is epic. They're like 7-minute episodes, and we'll let him watch like 1 or 2 a week. A high week, he'll watch like maybe 5-6 episodes. So it's not a ton of TV. But the quarantine, like, I'm curious how that's going to shape out.
Because you could just give him TV the entire time and he would be totally set. But I am also probably just an awful father in the future if that's my
Well, I mean, what's
approach.
funny about it, though, is like the more TV you give, it's not like he gets to a point with the TV where he's like, okay, cool, I'm done. I want to go play outside now. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's a black hole.
Yeah.
Where when we're like, okay, Rudy, we're done with the TV, he's like, yaga!
If you don't take it away from him, he just won't ever stop.
I don't know. I've never reached that point yet.
Yeah.
I'm not just like going to turn on Gettysburg Address and like let him rock it. But with the quarantine, like that's the first, I'm like, oh yeah, we have to like entertain a 2-year-old for.
Yeah.
And then we got to like put him down for naps and be in the same room as him. Like, I don't know what kind of hotel we're going to be in. I've heard it was Gary Clark Jr. and his family. His wife's Australian, and they went over there recently and did a quarantine. And Taz reached out to Gary's wife. Why am I forgetting her name? I'm terrible.
Kelly?
It's not Kelly. And we were like, hey, we're trying to do the same thing with the going over in quarantine. Like, give us some tips, And she said that the Australian government is a little bit more lenient on families. Like, they got apparently like an apartment that they were able to. So I'm like, oh God, I'm praying that we'll be in some sort of situation that's not like the normal hotel rooms I stay in when I'm on the road. Cause it's like, you got a couch and a desk and a TV and a bed.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be cool to do a podcast from that place while you're out there. Just like, I don't know how we would.
It would be interesting.
It would be super interesting. I'd love to just like check in, see what your headspace is like 10 days in.
It literally depends on what type of room we are, because the only time I'd be able to do it right is when Rudy's down for a nap, and then I'd be having to talk like this because if you woke up my child, like waking up a napping child should be a cardinal sin. It should be like, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not hold any other gods above me, thou shalt not wake up a napping child. And it should say thou too, because
it should say thou too.
It's a strong term.
It is a strong term. Yeah, I wonder how we'll I don't know. It'll be interesting to just not be with each other. I mean, I live with you, Alan. I don't live with you, Steve. And we go breaks of like maybe a week or something without seeing you every once in a while. But I'm gonna miss you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you too, bud. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Everything is over. I'm just trying to book a job and go back to New York and get Starleaf 2 up and running, dude. I'm trying to get my pork chops high and mighty.
Yeah, I think that technically, phonetically, is called Star Leaves.
Star Leaves. Star Leaves. Got him. Good one. Got him. Got him. Oh man, yeah. It's gonna be interesting to go back and try to readjust back to that city. I'm gonna move. Looking for apartments right now. Deals on deals on deals out in New York City right now. So I'm gonna try to take advantage of that.
Is that just people had to leave?
Yeah, so many people have just left the city, and all these apartments are just trying to get bodies in them. They've dropped their prices significantly. Places that are they're literally half the price of what they normally are, or less.
Wow.
And there's first and double 3 times month free. So the rent gets dropped even lower because they just put that into the rent price. But no broker fees, no move-in cost. It's just get in and start paying us rent, please.
Yeah.
So
do you think it'd ever be possible to gauge how close to the brink a city is from Detroit in the 80s? Or do you?
Yeah, sure.
But how would you guys do it if you were given the task to judge how close any sort of city was to real devastation?
Mm-hmm.
What would you base that on?
Probably a census and what people are what kind of revenue is coming through the city and what it looked like prior to the moment. And
did Callahan Auto get shut down?
Yeah. It's because she was using the paper files and not using the internet.
She had her own system, Jules.
Oh, yeah,
I know.
dude.
She did. She was sweet about it too. God damn it. I loved her anyways.
Why can't you just use the filing cabinet? We got you.
Oh man, good old Tommy boy.
Yeah, I'm interested, right? Because we've seen civilizations we haven't seen them throughout history. There have been civilizations who have just up and disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Whether it was natural disaster or disease, which is literally what we're experiencing right now, financial devastation. And I'm curious to if there was a metric system, a binary system that you could read, how close is America right now to that?
Yeah.
You would judge it off of unemployment rates. Maybe you would there's so many metrics you would judge it off of, but I would be so interested to see somebody who is much smarter than me's take on that. Oh, actually we're about, if this goes on for another year, or we're about 9 months out, or we're, whatever it is, from real problems. And obviously for some people, it's already devastating. But I don't know. It's an interesting thought experiment to think about what those metrics would be, because the fact that New York real estate and rental properties are dropping by half, that's kind of bonkers to me.
It's super bonkers.
Yeah.
And,
are they rent controlled, or are you going to get into them in 5 months from now? They're just going to be oh yeah, remember?
They're rent controlled for the term of the lease, but I think most of them are trying to get you in for a couple of years, which is honestly great for me. But I'm trying to just get grandfathered into a super cool place, and we already have a really cool place, but it doesn't make sense for us to live there anymore because it's so big.
You should get a grandfather roommate.
Just a old man, from down on
Just
Fulton
get
Street,
grandfathered in that way.
Yeah,
you're come on, you can't switch this out right now.
You can't do this to me, man. I got a
Tobias in here.
Grandpappy Tobias.
You're gonna raise the rent on old Toby.
On good old Grandpappy Tobias, dude.
That's un-American.
Yeah. Maybe that's my next approach, man. Just go find some old crusty fuck to come be my roommate. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm honestly like, I think when the pandemic started, I was kind of turning my nose up at a lot of the people that were leaving, because I was just like, man, like, it makes sense because like nothing's really happening in New York, so everybody's like going, like mostly artists. I saw a lot of artists just like getting away and going back to wherever they came from, because everybody in New York for the most part is transplants, right? And here at all these like big meccas of whatever industry they are, and people were leaving, and I was just like, man, like, sucks for you, because I'm excited to see what happens as that city starts to rebuild itself, especially in like the theater and like the film and television world and stuff. And as an actor, to be out there, it seems like, it doesn't seem, it is an industry of attrition, I think is the right word, which meaning like the longer you stick around with it, the longer, like the more prominent you're going to become in that world. And just in my experience of being, did I use it right?
The action or process of gradually reducing the strength or effectiveness of someone or something through sustained attack or pressure.
So like sticking with it.
Yeah,
like
so
stick-to-itiveness kind of. It was what I'm trying to say. Stick-to-itiveness.
So let me just, how would you spell that? Is it
PF flyers. Yeah, but you know, just even in my own experience of being out there, it takes time, man. Like anything, your music career, anything that you're doing that you're trying to be good at, just takes repetition and continuing to do it. But like my relationships with casting directors and being out there now and continuing to do the thing 10 years later, and now as they're rebuilding, being like, oh shit, Julian's still out here, with as well as the other people that are doing the same thing. Like I think there's an advantage in that at this point, almost, and I might just be wishful thinking.
Do you feel like there's advantages in art, or is it just like luck?
Well, that's a good question. There's certainly advantages. I mean, like, everybody is subject to their own independent brand of whatever that art is. So like, you are only you are the only Alan Stone there is.
Right. But doesn't that take away the advantage? Like, because everybody is themselves, doesn't it even the playing field, so that advantage of yourself isn't applicable?
I mean, it's interesting. Like, if as an example, like I audition a lot for like douchebags and like cop military douchey kind of like frat boy type of dudes, and it makes sense because it's all based aesthetically. So they're just like, you look like a fucking asshole. So
I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. I mean, take a look at me. Take a look at me.
He put these clothes on himself.
D-bag Central over here. D-bag Janisha right here.
Wolf, take a look.
Dick Wolf, what you want? You want me to come play a cop?
Bro, all you need is a vape.
Yeah. I got one last night, dude. It's awesome. My vape, my herbal vape. But the advantage that I've found myself having is that I am opposite of character. So like I look like a douchebag, and I might be one to many people, but I typically like try to really connect and be a really nice guy and kind of genuine, and that's not how I look. So people are kind of like taken aback, especially casting people. They're like, oh, you're just like such a sweet guy, and like, this is so nice, and you're so kind. And I totally like, I think because they see so many types of humans that are like the type that they bring them in for. They're just looking for real people, honestly. They're not trying to find the greatest actor. Of course they want that, but like, when you're at the level that I'm at, just like, just bring in the fucking best douchebag you got. And I wind up being that person. And then they're like, oh, you're actually like a really cool guy. And it's like, well, that's my advantage, because then they're just like, this is great because you are you're opposite of type. And there's an advantage in that, because they kind of were like, oh, cool, like I like this guy as well as he can play that part. But I don't know, that's like a very small.
I guess my angle of advantage that I was thinking of while posing that question was wondering if there is advantage, but it's so odd because there's so many people that I see in this industry that seemingly from an outsider's perspective have every advantage, quote unquote, in the whole spectrum of advantage,
Right.
but yet can't pay their rent with the thing. So that leads me to believe that advantage isn't at all connected to art, and that it's so much more of luck and your ability to take that luck and turn it into something.
Right.
But maybe that inherently in itself is an advantage. Like
Totally.
the ability to see an opportunity and go, okay, I'm going to run with it in this way.
Yeah.
But
there's also an advantage if you're pulling it out even farther, in that, historically in the film and theater world, it has, like, the roles that are available are typically for white males. So like I have the advantage in that, like a guy like, that is Middle Eastern and trying to like get a leading man role is going out for like a million taxi cab driver roles. And it's just like this, it's already demoralizing in and of itself. But then when you are only going in for like one certain thing that doesn't have to do with anything else, that's their disadvantage, because they're just like, well, I'm never going to be able to do that. Now things are changing for that. And it's honestly becoming like less, they're looking for less people like myself.
Right.
It's harder for me to find now like representation, which is great. It's fine. And like, I obviously want a job, but like I'm interested to see like what types of roles that I start going out for. There's been a lot of like these racist cops that I have like gone out for and stuff, which seems, true to the times and all that stuff. But it's also just like, I also went out the other day. Yeah. There's all sorts of varieties of it, but that's, I think, just when you pull back far enough, you realize like, well, yeah, of course there's these advantages. I have a privilege of being who I am, but at the same time, there's also like way more of me trying to do the same thing. Like I go into a room with, 10 other white douchebag looking bulky bros. And I'm just like, what do
you guys talk about when you're out in the waiting room?
Dude, I started talking right when I first moved to New York. I was like, I'm gonna make it a point to like connect with a human a day. So like on the subway, I wanted to like talk to somebody. In an audition, I wanted to talk to somebody.
Good luck in New York,
dude. I pissed so many people off so quickly,
what are you
man.
doing,
They're just like, dude, shut the fuck up. And so,
you're like that Best Buy representative. Like, you go to a Best Buy store and 9 guys in blue shirts come and it's like, hey man, can I help you find anything?
Yeah.
Like that 7th one, I'm like, fucking
shut up. But I always wanted to like kind of loosen the room in auditions, because people are seemingly so tense. Like, sometimes like people are like doing body rolls or breath exercises or like,
can you demonstrate a body roll for me right now? That's a body fold.
I mean, I gotta stand up and do it, but like, it's just like these like they're just doing like exercises to get themselves prepped. And it's a weird experience, man, going in and auditioning, especially when you're in a room with 10 other people who like, look like you. You've like looked at the check-in sheet. They all like, you start like looking them up on IMDb. Like, oh my God, this guy was in Breaking Bad for 3 episodes. I'm never going to get this part. He's way better than me. And it's just like, this is so stupid. But I stopped doing all of that stuff early on, but I would always try to like break the tension and just be like, yeah, it's like, dude, like,
I think it'd be.
This is crazy, right? I can't believe we're doing this. It's so crazy, man.
Yeah.
You guys fine? You guys having a good day? Yeah.
It'd be so wild to come to Earth from a vantage point of never experiencing our culture ever, and then getting a glimpse of like industries like the acting world or like action sports or like all these. I've just been around. I'm so desensitized to like NASCAR driving.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, this guy's just going 250 miles an hour around and it's normal. And then there's a bunch of like overweight guys who are hammered drunk, just yelling at the top of their lungs every time they go around. Go, Billy, go! But like if you were an alien and you had never experienced normal like Earth experiences, and you came and were like, okay, wait, what?
Yeah.
These people like memorize these non-real experiences. They try to make them sound and seem as real as possible. They film it, and then people take themselves out of actual living to sit back and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so absurd.
I know.
Right? Like we stop our actual life to watch fake life so that we can feel differently about our actual life instead of just living our actual life.
Yeah, I mean that's a very like dark kind of.
Well, no, I know it's, but I'm not saying that's the only thing that happens.
Right.
But in a zoomed out way, you could get that perspective about what people. I mean, really, it's just like people are playing dress up and make believe.
Yeah.
And what's even more incredible about it is they're cultivating real emotion.
Yeah.
Like, how many times during this quarantine have we watched a movie where both of us were just sobbing?
Yeah.
I haven't sobbed at anything that happened in my real life in a long time.
I know.
Except maybe when my child was
I
being
cry
born.
though. I cry a lot, but yeah.
You're a crier.
I'm a crier.
Are you a crier, Steve?
Oh yeah.
He's a crier.
Yeah, I don't cry at many things in my real life, but like the other day we were watching this In and of Itself, which anybody at home who hasn't seen this, go check it out.
Have you seen it yet, Steve?
Oh yeah. We just got his book too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You did see. We talked about it.
Well, we didn't talk about this yet, Steve. What did you think?
My mind was blown. It was absolutely incredible. But I wasn't emotional like Julian was and Laura was. I went way too analytical as like a tech.
Yeah, he was a little bit like you, where you
Oh,
guys
yeah,
kind of like
I
walked away.
Okay, so let me get your perspective on. So the end of the movie.
Talk about it first.
Without spoiling. I don't want to spoil it for people at home. But like at the end of the movie, Steve, when he goes through the audience,
Yeah.
how do you think he pulled that off?
At first, I was thinking that maybe he was getting cues from someone, like someone was telling him who they were because they filmed and videoed and saw who picked him earlier. And then I kind of landed on like maybe he just has like an eidetic memory, and he watched people in their selections and just could remember them because he's photographic memory, eidetic memory, or whatever. And then I just went into full on I'm still baffled mode. Honestly,
can I tell you what I think he did?
Yeah.
So he's obviously like a card genius, right? Like he is his workout with cards and what he was able to do with cards is all memorization.
Right.
So when you walked into the
entrance of
this place, you picked a card that was on a board
that has a
like
word or an identity.
I am sporadic.
So and so. I am this. I am this. And then he would break the card off and have it in his hand.
Yeah.
And I think that card. I think that they sat the people specifically based upon either how they at what time they entered the theater, or which card they chose. And that as he's got all those cards in his hand, because you saw him at the top of the thing, they like came and they placed all the cards down, and he was like shuffling through them.
Yeah.
I think he's memorizing them at that moment, like at the top of the show, which is still crazy that he could go through at the end of the show and pop that off. But I did the same thing. I was analyzing it throughout, like how did he pull that off? Because it's right, like it's just so smart. It was just so smart.
It's so smart, and I think it's super fascinating that you like. There's just different types of people. Like I didn't watch that at all, and like I see things, and I'm just like, especially magic, and I'm not like, oh, magic's real. This was way bigger than magic. This was so beautifully done, but anything magic or anything that I can't really understand or make sense out of, I don't want to, because like even hearing you guys kind of talk about that, and this is just for me, like I understand that you guys are doing that for yourselves, and like I hear you guys talk about it, I'm like, man, that kind of brings it down for me almost. Like kind of loses its luster when I start to think about how it's actually happening. Yeah. Because I'm not going to do it. It's never going to be something that I do, and I don't need to feel smart about it. I just like what it is as a whole, and I'm just like, that is the best, man.
I don't approach it from a need to be smarter than it. I'm just
but
genuinely curious about how a human can do that.
But that's a takeaway from that thing for you is like, I'm I'm so curious. I need to know. Well, not because you're trying to be smart, but because like that's just what your brain tells you to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Mine's just like
background though. Like that's just
I'm
like
crying.
how we
That's
look
it.
at it. Well, it was like Hamilton or the David Byrne. You know, like I'll watch it once and I'm just kind of just like, oh, how are they doing the set designs? These lights, this, that, the other thing. I'm looking at all the backup dancers and vocals and thinking how well it's mic'd and all this shit.
Right.
And then I watch it like the second or third time and I'm just fucking dancing and crying and having.
I guess
I let that go eventually, but initially that's how I approach most things in production.
Well, it's happened to me way more since working with video. Like I watch movies so much differently than I did prior to getting behind a camera and like taking a picture or taking a video.
Totally.
So naturally, with as much stage time as me and Steve have spent throughout the last 10, 15 years, I think it's natural for us to watch a production like that and go like, oh, how did he do that? Or how did he do that? The one thing that was really epic was when he did, and I don't think any of this spoils actually the entirety of the film. So go and watch the film. It's incredible.
Go and watch the film.
The one was the sand. When he reached into that specific prop piece and it turned into sand, that was pretty amazing to me. I was like,
but even like the people that he brought up and like had the notes written.
Oh, the notes was crazy.
Yeah.
I have no idea how he did that.
Yeah, and that,
The whole
I
thing.
mean, like I guess.
I don't know how he did any of it. I don't know how he did any of it.
That's the thing. Is that
I have
like,
theories.
It's all
on the end of it.
speculation.
I know how he got dressed, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
And I could be wrong about that.
yeah, you probably are. That's the beauty of it, because I think it must be so fun to be a person like that and to just like have people like spit their theories at you, and you're just like,
oh, and they're not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close, for sure.
And also he's in his mind he's just like, it's actually much simpler than any of that.
Probably.
You know, and who's to say? But I think like I don't know. I get where you guys are at. Like you're coming from this like production place and cameras and wanting to like understand.
Yeah.
When I watch movies, I do the same thing. You know, with actors and with composition and light, all this stuff. I'm like, oh, kind of gauging all that stuff. But when it's somebody that I know that I will never be able to access, like I'll never do that. I'll never be able to do that. And I'm totally good with knowing that I'll never be able to do that. Like I watch dancers and I'm always just like, sick. Like I don't need to know how they're doing that because I'm never going to know how to do that. And I just fully appreciate that. And I just can like genuinely be amused and happy with like it happening. And that was what I felt like with this movie. I was just like, man, I don't need to know anything. You're awesome, and I'm never going to be able to do what you do. So just like keep doing that. That's your lane. Fucking keep at it, dude. This is awesome.
Well,
Thanks for being you.
The metaphor of it was very emotionally moving to me at the end. The metaphor was beautiful and brilliant, and definitely was a huge part of the show. And that really took me. And then the other technical stuff was just, I think, just a part of that. It's just a natural thing that I'll do, but I'm definitely going to rewatch it.
Yeah, I think we should rewatch
taking that aspect away.
Yeah, Taz didn't finish it with us, so I think we should watch it again with her.
Yeah, maybe we should do a family rewatch.
We should have you guys. Steve, you and Laura were saying yesterday that you guys wanted to come over and have a dinner in movie time, so let's do that.
Yeah, Laura definitely said that
this weekend. Yeah, it's Steve's like, I don't want to fucking come over and do anything
we'll come
with
over
you
this
guys.
weekend and do that and eat some chips.
God, man, I love chips.
Oh, dude. I've been on this Ruffles kick recently.
You've always been on Ruffles kick, dude. Since we were kids, you've been liking the Ruffs.
No.
Yes,
it's
you
only been
have.
the last year, bro. I was a Doritos boy through and through. I was on them Dodos, son.
If you were a Cooler Ranch, you can get out.
Oh, I like Cooler Ranch.
Get out,
Cooler Ranch, bro.
I know,
nacho
they're pretty
cheese
good.
is about it. And you know what I'm going to do on the way home? I'm going to stop and get my own little bag. And
There you go.
Ooh, that was a
letting you-
nice wissy.
ain't letting you have a bite.
Come on, dude. Hot dogs or cheeseburgers? Just like the worst of both. Like the worst hot dog or the worst cheeseburger? What do you go?
Cheeseburger for sure.
Really? I'm going with hot dog.
Like which one would you rather not have? Like
Which one would you have? Which one?
yeah,
Like if
for
it's like
sure,
a
cheeseburger.
like a shitty hot dog that's just like a proper like Wonder Bread bun and just a fucking piece of shit link, or a just fucking
Piece of shit link.
piece of shit link, or just a ugly piece of meat ham patty with some bun.
You know what I haven't seen up to this point is a USB thumb drive shaped as a hot dog.
Ooh, that'd be
There you
nice.
go.
$1 million idea right there.
It's been done. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely hamburger, man. I mean, even like
Only because it's more food, I guess.
not because it's more food, because it's like dude, a shitty hot dog is like pig toenails and stuff. I think.
Pig's toenails?
Yeah, isn't that the thing?
No, they're not putting toenails in it, dude.
What is in a
Intestines.
shit hot dog?
What is in a shit?
There are
Oh, poop hot
USB
dog.
drives shaped as hot dogs.
There are there?
There are.
Wow.
I'm looking at them.
Yeah, of course there are.
Pizza.
It's not that crazy.
Ooh, I'm getting this turtle one.
Dude.
This turtle.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm getting this turtle.
Americans eat
one.
approximately 7 billion hot dogs between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
Oh my god.
What?
Just summer long fucking representing hot dog central. God damn, dude.
Texas is huge, bro.
Dude,
Hey,
I used to just
check out really quick the hot dog eating contests and see like the very end of it and see how like check out how many hot dogs they eat in like an hour.
My dude Kobe up shit.
Is that his name?
No, he
Kobayashi.
doesn't have the record anymore, bro.
No, he doesn't, but he was
World
a hero
record
for years.
hot dog eating.
220. Oh, they probably didn't have one this year. Nathan's, man, they do that out in Coney Island.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to it one of these days.
Okay.
Shut up, Alan.
75 hot dogs
In how long?
in. Look at
that.
my guy, bro.
These people are ruining the curve for everyone else and making that statistic huge.
13th title, dude.
Wow.
Chestnut down to 75 Frankfurters to beat 2018 mark of 74. Oh man, when you got, can you imagine
How
being
long
like?
is it though?
How
I
many
think it's an
links do you think
hour.
You could have.
I knew I was fast in the beginning. I hit a wall at the end. I really missed the crowd, dude. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, what a trip, dude. I think it's in an hour.
Yeah, this guy's been killing it since 2015, man. He's won 5 in a row, dude. Kobayashi's
Wow.
game
What does
is
killing it
done.
mean in this regard?
Himself.
I mean, just being just being good at anything.
How much money do you think those guys make from like being the winner? And like, how shitty must it be to be like third place or like last place? Because you're still eating 60 dogs.
I've thought about that with like Olympic athletes. Like these guys don't make any money for like
Right.
wrestling. Like
Yeah.
like how much money does a professional like gridiron wrestler make?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like training for the Olympics.
yeah, not much, but I'm sure they're not paying for anything either. They're probably just
Yeah,
like getting taken
sponsorships
care
and
of.
stuff, yeah.
You still have to pay for food.
Probably not, honestly. I mean, they're probably just like on per diems and stuff.
You think
with,
there's like a bunch of those like Foxcatcher Dunlop guys around just like having
what's a Foxcatcher Dunlop?
Did you see the movie Foxcatcher?
I never finished it.
Dude, Steve
supposed to be
Carell is
super good.
such a savage.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo and Chan Tots.
Shannon Tots.
Dude, fucking hottie.
Chan Tits?
I don't actually think he's that hot.
You kind of look similar to
Yeah,
Chan
he'd
Tates.
be one of the 10 douchebags in the audition
I was
room.
gonna
with
say,
you.
bro.
No, I don't look like Channing Tates.
A little bit.
I wish I looked like Channing Tates. I think he's kind of strange looking. I think he was obviously like super sexy and Magic Mike. because
Wow,
he was-
dude. Let me just stop you before you stick a whole foot in your mouth here.
What are you talking about?
Chan Tates. Check out Baby Boy.
I know.
Jules Gavs right
No,
there.
come on. That's not. Nobody's ever thought of me as Channing Tates, dude.
Steve, get a old. This is for everybody at home who's.
This
This is friggin' Julian, bro. Yep. Okay.
Not right now, dude. Checking me out right now.
That's interesting on perception though, because I was just telling everyone that you look,
Nah,
or
show 'em
telling
Cheddar
you that
Bob.
you look like Nick.
Oh, this is better.
Vincenzi or whatever
This
his
is
name
better.
is.
Look, this is
Oh,
him
yeah,
right
that's the
here.
one.
That is Julian.
Dude, I think I have a headshot that is that one.
Oh my God. Nick,
Should I sign it and put it on eBay?
Now let's give the folks at home the other one, which is Cheddar Bob. Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile and Nick Lachey had a baby, and that is Jeremy Pauldonis.
He does look like me, dude. I'm
Bro,
not gonna lie.
It's
You look
striking.
super
like
weird.
Bob.
It's striking.
Yeah, I look way more like him than I look like Nick Lachey.
Well, no, it's like it's an in between. Like that guy.
Dude, honestly, like that picture is fine, but like it's even the pictures of him as Cheddar Bob looking like a fucking queef. Like that looks like I should have just had that role, man.
He's such a good actor.
He's
too.
so good, man.
He was in Gangs of New York, right?
Was he? No, he wasn't. Well, I don't know.
No, he wasn't.
No, what's that? What was that?
He was
it
in.
was that HBO series about like the gangsters back in Prohibition.
Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk Empire. He was in Boardwalk Empire.
I don't think he was in Boardwalk Empire.
I don't think he was
For sure. I love this. Look at this. This guy's like, I look like Cheddar Bob.
Yeah.
You can't look like anything like Cheddar Bob, bro.
I gotta
Evan
grow out my
Jones.
facial hair, dude, and get it nice.
That was so like when that happened, when Eminem came out, like at the peak of his reign, when Eminem like was just ruling the world and then did that movie and it was like really good.
Oh, so
I was like,
good, dude.
God,
As
man.
as somebody who writes now and like does screenplay stuff, that movie I watched it in like a few Christmases ago, and I was like, this is the greatest. Like, it's a perfect story. Like the whole
epic.
arc of the story is just
incredible.
So perfect, and it's so great that it was done through the rap world and through that storyline. It's so good, man. I'd like to rewatch that movie again too sometime. It's fucking nice.
It's incredible, man. The most incredible part about it is that Eminem never acted again.
I know he didn't need to. He's just like, I'm just making a movie that
he never
just, like,
did
represents.
another movie. He never did another role in like any other movie.
I wonder
He's
if he
just like-
enjoyed it. I'm sure he enjoyed it because, well, I don't know.
I don't know. I've never
Interesting.
sat down with Eminem. He doesn't seem like he enjoys too many things.
Isn't that weird? I always wonder if that's just like his. He
Like
like
the
seems
persona?
very it's just his like persona, like when he's on interviews and stuff, just like, oh. I'm
It's
gonna be
kind of
really
like a hip.
serious
It's
and-
seemingly though. I don't know this. I'm speaking maybe out of turn, but it kind of seems like a hip hop thing that like you have to be too cool to enjoy yourself.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's probably
Like besides Andre 3000 and like Anderson .Paak, and then like Dirty Old Bastard. There's like a few hip hop artists who
Yeah.
are like, I'm actually gonna seem like I'm having a good time here, but like 50 Cent, like I don't even know if I've seen that guy smile ever.
He's
Yeah.
smiling all the way to the bank. I can tell you that.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I don't
great,
know.
but he doesn't seem happy. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's totally fine. Shout out to 50 if you want to be on the podcast, bro. Hit me up, bro. You can check out my agent.
Hit me up, bro. Check with my agent.
DM me
Yeah, man. Wouldn't that be crazy? I know, like
to be 50 Cent. What was
just to get 50 Cent on a podcast. Like, I know I listen to.
It's from this podcast.
Yeah, I would like to just make 50 cents from the podcast.
Can we have 50 cents, please, guys?
You
Can you
know?
go onto our Patreon page and just give us 50 cents at least?
Once you get your lease signed for your new apartment, we're gonna just have all of the paychecks sent there. Send 50 cents to.
Yeah.
Remember when we put your number up on the VIP experience?
I'm
That-
still
that
I'm
was a part
still
that-
getting texts. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, that
stellar.
was crazy, man. That was like the most attention I've ever gotten in my life for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I saw the desk rising underneath your lap.
Oh, well, that's that. I didn't know who anybody was, so
Hey, folks, today our episode is brought to you in part by our good friends at Ladder Coffee. Head to laddercoffee.com and you can order beans directly from the brewer, as well as some of this beautiful cold brew. Locally owned and operated out of Spokane, Washington. Check it out, Ladder Coffee.
I'm jacked.
Let's
It
talk
was-
about this for a second. Does the word overneath need to be added to the dictionary?
could say use it in a sentence.
Okay, so like
Never used it.
So like overneath that table, there's a mouse and a keyboard.
No,
Did
on
you
top
say
of
under top? Yeah.
under top.
No, overneath. It's like
Well, what
doesn't
does
work.
neath mean?
Yeah.
let's look at it.
Let's look it up. What is neath? What does neath mean?
No.
It's not. Doesn't mean anything. It's just part of the word.
It apparently is an
underneath.
old brick castle.
It's not
from-
like under space neath.
What does neath mean? Oh, somebody's typed it before. I like that.
Yeah, man, we're so stupid.
Neath is a preposition for
Beneath.
beneath.
Neath. Hello, young squire. Please grab me my beverage from Neath.
I don't know. I said
I'm
it on
sorry,
accident.
using it.
I said it on accident at one point. Overneath, and I was like, that has a ring to it.
That could be the next album.
It might be one of the first original ideas I had.
Yeah, that's nice, dude.
Was
I think
overneath.
it's pretty meta. Maybe if you start to really like dig into it.
Don't
you know?
ever say that word again.
You say it more than I do.
That's
I'm just
because
saying.
I can, because I have a Twitter follower.
A fucking asshole. I have a Twitter follower, therefore I can say the fucking word that I want to say. You're a fucking dickhead, dude.
Meta.
Meta.
I don't know. I think we should start using it more.
I don't, dude. It sucks. Plus, it's too long of a word.
Overneath? It's the same length as underneath.
Yeah, but you have to use it in like a different context rather than just being like, "Hey, grab me the soda on top of the desk."
Let's check about this. If there was two, to take it back to our hot dogs discussion earlier.
I want a hot burger. I want a hot burger.
A cheeseburger patty is overneath a bun. Because it's
just
over one bun
in a
and it's
bun.
but the bun is both sides of the bun.
I'm
There's a
hearing
top
what you're
and a
saying.
bottom.
I just feel like it's like too much work.
Like I'm overneath the covers.
If it was overneath and what you were trying to sell us on was just in, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's great because it's much simpler.
So let's
and
call it
easier.
that in. It's like it's kind of a way to say in with a little bit
Well,
extra.
you're also saying that like Steve's computer is overneath.
Well, no, I did. That was
desk.
the wrong definition. Right now, I'm restating my definition.
It's just in.
It's just inside.
So like if you're like, can you like get overneath a car?
Yes, inside of the car.
Inside of the car.
Because you're above the car while also being below the car. You're overneath.
Oh God.
So like, hey, hop
From a
overneath.
place of if I ever say overneath, I'm just gonna go. Everybody is gonna hate me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Any moment
I'm
where I
coming from a
hear
place
Steve
of-
go, oh God. I know
God.
that things have fallen off the rail.
Damn, dude. Hey, what do you guys think about California Kings? You guys both got them, don't you? I'm looking at this bed right now on the TV
Oh,
screen.
dude, I'm overneath a fan of those things.
Ooh, damn, dude. Nice.
The bugger about a California King bed is that it's impossible to find a California King comforter.
Really?
Yeah, because they like a California King, I think is what, Steve, longer?
It's longer. Yeah.
So it's longer than a regular King.
By how long?
I couldn't tell
a
you.
few inches.
You
Something
good.
crazy.
You just looked up neath. You can look up.
Yeah,
You can look up something
California
that
King.
actually. I was gonna say that actually matters. No, this doesn't matter either. But
I found so
Do you
many
guys both-
California King comforters right now.
yeah. Oh God. Do you guys both have those?
I just have a King.
A king? Do you have a California King?
Yeah, I got a California King, got a California King, got a California King.
I mean, I am a California
If my
King,
room's
so
big enough in New York, I think I'm about just upgrading, dude.
do it.
yeah, so
Well, I'm just by myself. I don't like have a person.
So-
when I'm with a girl, it's
Do it.
a California King is like, it's not as wide. It's just longer.
no.
So a California King is 84 inches long, 72 wide.
Really?
A
That
regular
seems-
King is 76 wide, 80 long.
Wait a second.
So unless you're like Shaq, you just get a King. We
Oh
had,
yeah, dude. I just want a king.
but we have a California King. I was under the impression that California King is just much bigger because anything you put California in front of, California roll, it's a better roll.
I don't know about a California roll. I think California roll is probably my least favorite of the rolls.
Mine too, but there's something about what the word California used to mean. Like, I think it's lost its luster the older I get because I've actually been to California. Sorry, Steve, I don't mean to talk shit about your home state.
Well,
I
Steve
live-
lives in the
I-
best part of California.
That's
so.
true. That's true. He does. But like, it's definitely lost its luster since I've been to California so many times.
Sure.
I love California. I love all the Californians in it. But I think if you're from Ohio and somebody's like, "Oh, dude, you ever been to California Pizza Kitchen?"
Hollywood.
They're like, "Whoa, what do they have there? They got like they got Walk of Fame or something."
Jimmy's Walk.
But now I'm looking at this. It seems like the King is the better option than the California King.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm only looking for width. I'm trying to just like lay.
Trying to have several
Horizontal.
concubines in the bed with you at one time.
Well, no. I mean, like I guess my bed works great because I'm a single guy and I don't have like a partner. When I'm with a partner, even though like that's a queen size bed is still nice. My bed's super comfy, but man, king size is just you can jump around, man.
Game changer.
Hop up.
It
and
really
get
depends
down.
on how big your room is, because like a king size bed in a small room is annoying
It's stupid.
AF.
You're right. Totally.
Well-
But if you have a big, huge, if you have a relatively good sized room, I'm always annoyed if I can't go to every side of the bed because
right.
I have to make my bed in the morning. I don't feel
Oh,
Same.
sure,
like
for
I'm
sure.
operating in the same universe as anybody if my bed is messed up. A lot of people don't care. I have to get to each side.
Yeah.
I have to get to each side to make sure that I'm kind of OCD in that manner. So if I'm in a tiny room and I can't get to one side because it's butted up against the wall, it's gonna
my bed in New York right now is
that.
Yeah, I do agree too. I actually have my bed up against the wall in New York. Not necessarily because I need to. It just seems to be the best place for it. In my
your room in New York, man, and you couldn't really put a bed in there in a place like it's a weird room.
I love that room, but yeah, you're right. It's probably the best spot for it. But I always get pissed because I have to like pull the bed out to put the thing.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Down.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
Super annoying. Yeah, I would go whatever your spot is that you find, and you have to send pictures to both your extra daddies, which are me and Steve, so we can approve.
Okay.
I would say go for the king. Dude,
our bed's expensive,
bro. I don't know what happened in the last 5 years. Once again, might be just because I'm getting older, and these things sort of just get tossed across my reality bow more frequently now. But like, it seems like everybody's getting in the mattress game. It seems like there's 500 companies just in the last 10 years. Casper, Sleepwell. Like back when we were kids, Tempur-Pedic. Back when we were kids, it seemed like it was like Serta, and then whatever the company was that had the sheep. That was it. It was like Mattress King and Serta, and that was like all the only choices you got. Now there's
why buy a mattress anywhere else? Boom.
Yeah, you can get mattresses for super cheap that are really great, like Tempur-Pedic mattresses. The ones down, the mattress downstairs that we have, that everybody like. Literally, they come by the house one night, they sleep on the mattress, like, this is the greatest mattress I got for like $300 on Amazon.
I think I got mine that same way. It just came like rolled up, and then I like opened it up, and it's it's like memory foam and deflates, and it's the best mattress I've ever got. I think it was also like $300 or $400. Like, damn, dude, this thing's great.
Yeah, I think ours was only like $500.
So I retract my statement. I think it's the bed frame that costs the money.
I can tell you, be careful about the bed frame thing. So when we first got our king bed, I bought a mattress for it, or a frame for it, and I wanted some room underneath for like extra storage because we have a pretty small room, and I got an 18-inch high fucking bed frame because I was like, I don't want a what do you call the mattresses that go under? You know, like the second mattress.
Oh, the box spring.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't like box springs. So I was like, but I want the bed to be high because I'm tall and whatever. I enjoy it. Dude, the room's so small. It became not a bedroom. It was like the room of bed. It's like the whole room was just a bed.
Because it was so high up.
It was so high up, dude. It was brutal.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's always weird. I've seen some high beds before, and that's just I'm not into it.
Dude, my parents had the highest bed of all time. I swear. I think it was just to keep us kids off of it for like the first 10 years of our life. Literally the bed frame that my parents still sleep on, I was born on.
Oh really?
Same bed frame. My parents are those type of folk that like they just take care of their shit and they never throw it away. It's so high. I remember being a kid, like I couldn't even see the top of the bed. It was quite amazing. But yeah, my parents would tell you. Not the same mattress. They got a new mattress, but the bed frame that my parents still sleep on, I was born on. Because I was born at home. No big deal.
That is interesting.
Yeah, they just had one of those, like, you know, those boat flags that they hold up after a water skier goes down. The doctor just waved one outside of my mom's vagina. I just cruised out.
Came into the world with a splash, Al.
Oh man, criminy.
It's like, he's right here. Found him.
There he is.
Al, will you make me a bed frame?
Yeah.
No, you won't.
No, I like. At the sentiment of you asking that to me makes me feel really good. I appreciate that. And all of the intention I can well up in my body right now is yes. Whether or not 2 years from now you have a bed frame or not, I cannot predict.
Well,
but
I'm going to ask Paul Corbett today too, and I'll get it in 2 years if I do. So I think...
Yeah, shout out to old Polly's. He's on his own schedule, baby. He's right now at Slab City at Salton Sea, dude. Just roasting
fucking yurting it up.
Free basin Monster Energy drinks. Bunch of bums.
Bunch of bums. Yeah, right, dude. They're living life to the fullest.
Not Paul and Sarah. Like actual bums.
What are you talking about?
Slab City. Do you know about this? Oh, bro. You got to see this. This is epic. There's this little community.
Bums.
You know Slab City. They have it in that fucking Emil Hirsch movie.
Yeah, he
Into the
goes to
wild.
Slab City.
Oh, I know the Salton Sea and stuff like that, and that
Basically,
area.
any place in America that Vice has done a documentary about is it's not a place you want to go.
Why?
It's Uncle Overneath.
So, like, it's a,
Uncle Overneath.
Do you know about Salton Sea?
Not much.
So, Salton Sea was like poised to be the original Lake Tahoe. I think it was some sort of irrigation system. I don't know if it was an accident or whatnot, but this gigantic lake started in the middle of California. And back in the 40s, they were building, I think it was 40s, 50s. I'm talking out of my asshole right now, but this is my best knowledge. They started building all these complexes and vacation rentals and whatnot. And then something happened with the irrigation system in the local farming communities, and the Salton Sea, it wasn't originally a salty sea, I don't think. It might have had a little bit of salt in it, but then the salinity content eventually just got to the point where you couldn't, like, fish couldn't survive in it. Like, nothing can survive in it. It's like so gnarly. I went and camped there with an old girlfriend one time, and there was like just fish bones all over the shore. It was incredible.
Wow.
But there's all these old communities out at the Salton Sea, and the Slab City is one of them, which is kind of like, you know, just the folk who live out in the middle of the desert and kind of just hang out and make art and
I mean,
ride. I mean, look at homie, dude. He's just riding around on his cooler.
That guy gets it.
This guy gets it. But
he's only 24 and has definitely been drinking the water.
we went to, me and this ex-girlfriend Rachel, you know Rachel Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Ray.
What's that?
We went to we went to Slab City. Like, we were curious about it, and I remember driving in at like 4 p.m. or so, and we got pulled over by a cop. And he came to the window. He's like, "Where are you guys going?" We're like, "Oh, we're just going to check out Slab City." And he's like, "Okay, don't be in there past dark." We're like, "Why?" Okay. And then we kind of went through it, and we're like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't be here past the evening time. I wouldn't feel comfortable being here after the evening time." Plus, like, having no experience with any sort of fighting.
Yeah. Right.
Also, like, you fight Alan Stone, all you need to do is just whack the glasses off his face and you win.
Yeah.
Weak shins, people.
I'm
Weak shins.
punching at clouds.
Weak shins, people.
What do we talk about? How did that get us started? Oh, bed frame. Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely build you a bed frame, dude. I built the one that I have in my room.
I know, it's great.
You did?
bed frame.
Jake Penhularak.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool,
me and
man.
Jakey just designed it and built it, and it took us, I think we did it.
Is there a
in, like, 2
backboard
days.
for that? Or is it
Well,
just,
it's like
just
it's
wall?
Yeah, it's just like screwed into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
But,
a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. It was pretty inexpensive, and it's sturdy AF. It's all 2x4s.
Mm-hmm.
The best part about my bed is that to make your bed look made doesn't take much, because there's like there's these lips around the edge of the bed and the mattress that are 3 to 4 inches taller
just
than
tuck
the
it in.
mattress. So you just like tuck it in the sides, and then you have what
tidy.
makes look the most what it looks like the most epically made bed ever, and you didn't put any effort forth.
That was the whole design purpose, wasn't it?
That was just kind of a shadow of, like, after we made the bed, we were like, oh, this is a great feature of the bed that I don't have to make it like take an hour and a half to make the bed every day.
Did you put your autograph on it?
I might have.
Well, we're selling it.
On the back end.
Think you can get some bucks for that, dude?
The bugger was that I made the bed, and then I was like, oh, I want to stain this. So I like stained it, right? And I was so excited to show Taz, because I didn't let Taz see it at all. And I was just like, felt so proud of myself that I had made this. That I made the bed before the stain had dried. And so our down comforter has just like this poopy brown streaks all at the bottom of it.
That's from Ricky Lake.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
And
Yuck.
so I got that going for me, which is nice.
Got that going
nice.
for me.
Yeah, we'll build you a bed frame, baby.
Yeah, I think I might get myself a nice Victorian frame for myself when I go back.
Fancy.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting myself some things.
Yeah, what else are you gonna get? Did
I was
living in my
thinking
home
about getting a
inspire
car,
that?
but I don't know if that's gonna be necessary. I might just be
What?
thinking that. Yeah, just like a car like
car?
yours. Yeah, just to like get out.
In New York?
Well, I'm not going to
That's
be
New
living
York and
in.
getting
I'm
a
not going to be
car.
living. Well, I don't know. I might be living in Manhattan, probably in Brooklyn, and just to like get out to like places that aren't just New York, like
Yeah,
going
but
upstate.
why
and
can't you
going-
just get like a
You can. I probably won't. But
share
like,
a car or like car share or something?
I probably can, and so like it's just a thought that I've had because I've been out here driving your car around. But
Getting
yeah,
tickets.
Dude, why don't you just get a little
Get
scooter
tickets,
with
I know.
a cooler on it?
yeah. Well, I might just get one of those. I mean, I have a bike, and that's great, but I don't know. I just want to get some like.
You should get an electric
things.
bike, man. Like those things are so fire.
Having my bike is honestly fire, dude. In New
I
York,
bet.
riding a bike around that
But you
city is
can't
so
ride a
great.
bike like 50 miles.
You never need to go 50 miles.
But you could.
I'm not gonna ride that bike 50 miles though either. I'm gonna drive a car.
Steve, is this on? But you could.
But you could.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, you definitely could. There's a 45-mile range on my Rad Power bike. Shout out to Rad Power.
So I couldn't go
Sponsor the
50.
podcast. Give us bikes.
Give us bikes. Rad Power.
Rad Power Bikes. They're a Seattle company, and they make super cool cruisy bikes. My child is obsessed with the bike.
They're cool bikes, man. They're cool bikes. I don't know. I'm thinking about just get. I want to get like a second room for myself to have an office and potentially start. I might get like some really simple music production stuff so I can start making, like, watching Mac Ayres and you up in the studio the other day was really inspiring. It's like there's no reason why I shouldn't be throwing together some beats on my time off and just like staying creative. I just love being creative. I love doing creative things, and like whenever I'm writing, that's fun. Whenever I'm doing these things, it's fun. I just like doing that stuff. So making, and I need to start playing guitar again, man, because I suck.
Yeah, I gave you a guitar.
I know.
To practice on, and you never did.
I know, because I just put myself into a different creative outlet, which was like writing, and that's kind of been my focus for the last, outside of acting, for the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't take much for you to get a MIDI keyboard and
I know.
a license to Logic and start making. I mean, Logic has some really great sounds natively stored in it.
Mm-hmm.
Great guitar amp simulators, great drum simulators, great. It's a
Yeah.
killer product. And it's
You
like
know, just really,
it's like $200.
I just really want to
like-
bring back my rap career, dude.
Bring it in, bro. What's going on?
MC Overneath.
MC Overneath.
Everybody.
You should be MC everybody.
MC everybody, every day. Yeah, I'm, oh, look at the good old Starleaf, dude. Did you know about that? Yeah, I just want to get new things. I've never been one to have things. I'm like, so I don't keep, maybe I get things, I just don't keep them. I've lost so much stuff.
Well,
in my
yeah,
life.
and
Yeah.
you don't take care of your things.
Well, I do now.
You do now, yeah, but you had a tendency prior to like just
Oh, yeah.
never take care of your
baby
stuff.
steps. I mean, you finally got jeans that have, like knee coverings, so
Well,
you're
there's a hole
working
here.
your way up.
Yeah, I just got to go shopping. I just got to get stuff.
You, yeah, the interesting thing about stuff is that it's just it just becomes stuff because they're constantly making newer ones, and so if you're inclined to like, oh, I want I've gone through this phase where I'm like, I need the coolest stuff. I need the newest, coolest. And then you, instead of enjoying the stuff, right, for the purpose that the stuff is supposed to be enjoyed for, you just enjoy having the stuff.
Are you projecting?
If that makes sense. No, I'm saying personally.
Well, okay, cool.
Yeah, personally, I've gone through that.
Yeah.
Where like, I don't enjoy the stuff. I enjoy the fact that I have the stuff, if that makes sense.
I have never, I mean, sure, there are a couple of things that I imagine, like getting a new iPhone. Like I always feel like I always upgrade whenever those come out. But like, as far as what's cool, I don't really know. I'm not up with like what's cool.
Why do you get a new phone then?
Because I don't because it's cool. Like that is the exception to that thing.
So you can do that same thing with literally everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you use it too. You're not in Orlando spending $600 on fucking snowboard gear.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Because you want the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff. I'm like, I really don't acquire or like have a need for that much.
I like people, I like folk who have like a taste. That's something that I am excited to acquire as I get older. It's not necessarily like I have the most expensive thing. It's I have a really acute taste for the finer things. Like my neighbor, shout out to Grant, is so lit on hi-fi audio. He just like, he knows everything about it. He knows what speakers are great, what frequencies, like I went over to his house one time and he just rifled off like 3 hours worth of information on hi-fi audio.
You know what that means.
And it was really cool. It was just like, oh wow, you're like really, really interested in this. And this is like, I'm interested in it now because you're so interested in it. Yeah. I think that's really cool to see. Like when I see folk like soccer moms driving a G-Wagon, I'm like, oh man. Yeah. That just like kind of upsets me a little bit. Yeah. Because G-Wagons are like some of the gnarliest off-road vehicles of all time. Like the construction of those vehicles is epic. That's what I'm excited to kind of get into, is like more so like a refined taste of like, oh man, you taste this tequila. You don't get drunk just to get drunk anymore. You're like, taste this tequila versus this tequila. And I think I'm starting to get into that phase, but I also love a shitty cheeseburger every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. I just like, I mean, despite whatever it is, like having taste typically, like I just like people, or when I am as well, who are just into something so much and they're just really good at it, no matter what the fuck it is. Like if you're a janitor and you are committed and loving that thing and you do it and you're like so passionate about cleaning a school, fucking awesome. That's good. And so you can do that with literally everything. That's the coolest part about the world we exist in, is you can literally dive in and be passionate about any intricacy connected to anything. Yeah. Like any occupation, any hobby, it goes so deep. It goes so deep. And that's, I mean, as an adult, that's what's really kind of got my wheels turning. Yeah. In the last few years. It's like, oh wow. Especially getting like cameras and gear stuff. I'm like such a gearhead now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, whatever stuff I get, I just want to like dive into and commit to, and not just have because I feel like it's cool if I have it. Take your time. Take your time and research. I'm 35 years old almost. No. I mean, like before you go, you're like, okay, I really want to get into wristwatches. I like a good wristwatch. I like it when it's on my arm. I like walking around. I want some walking around money on a wristwatch, right? Like the wristwatch thing is so deep. Taz's dad is so deep on the like watch game. God, and I don't know shit about the watch game, but when I hear him talk about it, I'm like so infatuated with his perspective on watches. And it's the same with, I went on a tour where these guys were so into tiki bars. And they like knew the history of tiki bars. And who is that? Oh man, I'm just terrible with names, man. But it wasn't my tour. It was guys on another, it was a tour that I was on, but they were a part of the other band's crew. And they knew the history of tiki bars, why tiki bars started up in America, like where the tiki bars were, and they were just what certain drinks meant and why they were created. And it was like, wow, man, that's such a good way to spend your time versus like mindlessly scrolling through TikTok like I have done with Instagram for many, many years. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to be into stuff. Well, here's to the folks at home listening. Why don't you give Julian some suggestions as to what type of stuff he should get into? Yeah. because I'm excited to see where that heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Whatever you're overneathly into.
Well, I've talked on previous podcasts just about like wanting to like go have experiences, like going out to, you know, India and doing weird meditative retreats or whatever. Like I obviously don't need to go all the way out there to do that. And part of it's just like, oh, that's because that's like the cool thing to do. I don't know. I don't actually know. I just want to like whatever I wind up doing, I just want to do it with like conviction and be stoked about it. Like I don't want to do anything at this point in my life that I'm not stoked about. I just don't want to like do anything that I'm not
good luck.
happy with. Thank you. Is that like a patronizing good luck or like
kind of? Because I think that you're going, regardless of your place in life, you're going to have to do some shit you don't like.
I know.
Get out there and
But
be
yeah,
somebody.
you know, but I'm like my life that's relatively minimalistic is by design. Like I don't have a lot of things, not because I'm like can't have them if I wanted them. I just choose to not have them. I'm like, my life, although might seem kind of like wherever and up in the air and however it is, it's like I've made the decisions to live my life the way that it is. I don't have kids. I don't have a girlfriend. Like I don't have these things. And like, of course, like circumstances put me in those positions, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I am me now here in this place because of the decisions that I made. And of course, a lot of them have been like, I didn't want to have to deal with certain things that got me to this point.
You should get into cooking.
Yeah, maybe I will. I'm too impatient for cooking.
And you don't really like food.
Yeah.
And I love food. No, I don't.
I know you don't. That's why I said it.
I don't, of course I love food. I'm just like, I don't know.
You're indifferent.
Yeah, but you're
about
not
it.
really like
yeah.
kind of acting is the only thing that you've really dug into the intricacies with.
Yeah.
growing- Like it's
well,
that,
acting
it's
is
that
so
and, like
acting is so
working
huge
out.
though for me.
right.
And like
but-
writing
but
and like
there's
you know
plenty of things in the world that could be that just as huge for you as acting, like wristwatches or ping pong paddles or fucking
right. I mean, there's plenty of things like I do
video games.
I never
but you've
seen-
never been deeply into anything like acting. I've never seen you be like, oh, bro, yeah, this one model of Acura MX 3000
I mean,
was like
like-
built in this thing. It's
Are
like,
you? I'm only asking because I'm curious. Are you interested in something as deeply as singing?
Totally.
With other things like what?
Yeah, sports, cameras, gear,
His child.
my child. Well, the child. Yeah, of course, I'm very deeply interested in my child, but like, I think we're talking about like things.
No, I know.
right?
It goes back to the bed frame thing too. You were like, my
Right.
favorite thing about my bed wasn't your wife. But yes, so I know
Yeah.
what you mean. We're talking strictly material.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like
Furniture building. I was like I built. If you go down into Taz's jewelry studio, I built her that jewelry desk. So yeah, I get into. It actually always feeds my music thing in a gigantically positive light, because I think when you only focus on one thing, for me personally, it only stretches one muscle, and I think that there's so many more muscles to be stretched that, right? Like you work out plenty. If somebody told you like all you do is go in and do biceps, like you're not going to be the strongest person around.
Yeah.
Right. Like you need a full body workout. And I
Sure.
think that only flexing the acting muscle, there's probably plenty of things that you could get into that are muscles that you don't naturally think need to be stretched in order to be a good actor, but getting
I think-
into them flexes those muscles in ways that you would never think possible.
Yeah. I think there's also something about acting for me that like bleeds into so much more than just like wanting to be an actor. Like it plays into me being the type of person that I want to be in the world. Like my day in the world as a person is like an experience, is already like part of the hobby for me. Like just like experiencing new people and having connections to people and things. Like that's what excites me, and that's what I kind of put my time and energy into as well. Like, I don't know, I guess I'm feeling like all you do is act.
Oh no,
and
God,
there's
that's not
nothing
what I'm
else
saying.
you do.
No,
and I'm just
not
like,
saying
oh
all
shit,
you do
is
is
that
act,
all
but
I
like
do?
you're not really into anything else.
I love, well, like, what about writing? I've been
Well,
fucking
I
writing
think
for like 5 years, like,
yeah,
heavily.
but writing and acting, I think, are very. It's like singing and warming up.
Mm-hmm.
They're like very closely related. I kind of view that.
Yeah.
It's not like you're into.
Well, I mean,
it's not like you're into airplanes, you know, or something. And I would be interested to see where that lands. What you find yourself just like obsessed with.
mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with acting. And that's your homework. And I want a 5-page essay.
By no means is that by a lack of exploring options. I'm constantly trying new things, always, all the time. But like I just am obsessed with the things that I do. I think it's interesting too, because my mom has had conversations with me before where she's just like I'm nervous for you. You just seem to be like doing, like, going so hard into like this thing, and like you need to take breaks every once in a while. And I'm like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but like I genuinely enjoy the thing that I'm doing.
Yeah,
like, and so awesome. Like to break away from it to do something else, I'll do that when I'm interested in doing that thing. But until then, like, I'm genuinely having a great time doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, it doesn't come from a place of like intervention.
No, I know.
It's like you brought it up. I think I'm gonna get some stuff. What should I get? Yeah. And we were like, well, you could just get really interested in something and then dive into that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, like, I love
this therapy session up,
and
now you're like, I don't. I need.
Well, I was just talking about getting like a new bed and like a car. And then it turned into like an interests for having something else besides acting and writing.
I just think
you guys making me seem like I don't fucking have anything going on in my life besides you.
I think you're projecting that on our discussion. I think I'm just, like, this world is so epically full of like cool things to dive into, and I've found so much joy in having other deeply motivated interests in things other than like singing in front of people.
Yeah. Julian, you want to go do a couples pottery class with me?
Dude, pottery be sick. I'll do one with you.
Sure. Yeah, I've done some of those before.
Sorry,
Again,
Alan intervened and cut you off, so I got to go with Alan now.
All right. Well,
you're out.
Looks like I'm still stuck. You guys both have the answers to life, and I'm just stuck over here with my Dwayne Johnson lifestyle of being a fart fuck.
Good God.
It's true.
No, nobody's saying that at all, and it's just it's interesting to see it from this vantage point. When you're discussing that certain thing, like, I just don't really have things, and as your friend, you're like, yeah, you're kind of right. You're not really that interested in other things other than working out and acting.
That's so not true, though.
They're two different things, you guys. You, like, on a meta level, like Julian was talking about, almost like material things at first, like a car or a bed or like tools of the trade, but he's not necessarily talking about like wanting to become a great musician. He just wants a tool to start something. And then we went like really like, Julian, how does you feel? What are you gonna get out of it?
Yeah, no.
How do you utilize? It's like, nah, it's just a fucking watch, bro.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I just wanted to know what type of things that I wanted to get, and then it turned.
I'll let you know what type of things I want you to get so that I can use them.
I'm gonna get you a chameleon. Get a pet. Get a chameleon.
I'm not gonna get any of those things. I'm not gonna get a pet because then I have to be responsible for that pet.
You should get some. You should get some sick lighting.
Why do?
Have you ever gotten into lighting?
No.
Bro, there's some sick lights.
Sweet. Did you ask me why I don't want to be responsible for things, Steve?
Yeah, why do you feel like you can't be responsible for things?
I don't think I can't be responsible for things. I think I could easily be responsible for things if I chose to be responsible for them, but I'm choosing to be responsible for my own life and what I'm trying to do with it rather than adding more to it unnecessellity.
Yeah, I don't care. I was being facetious. I was just going back to the
Oh, I'm just answering honestly.
What kind of things should Jules dive into when he gets his new place?
Model airplanes.
Have you ever gotten yourself like new furniture, like a new chair, Like a new desk chair?
Yeah. I got a couch and I got a coffee table.
Were they were they second hand, or did you buy them new? Or
I just bought them new. Yeah. Well, the couch was second hand, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I never seem to be out of things to do. So I'm kind of always doing something.
Yeah, no, listen. Your life is great, Jules. This is not an attempt to tell you that, like,
you don't need to. I'm not like thinking that you're thinking my life sucks either.
It kind of seems like you're trying to convince us that.
No, I think you're trying to convince me that I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we're just both reading each other wrong right now in this situation.
Potentially.
Maybe we need a break from each other, Alan.
No, I love you to pieces.
No, you don't. We're breaking up. You heard it here, folks. This is the last podcast you'll ever hear.
I wish you'd really get into fried chicken.
Why? Do you really wish that I got into anything?
I love fried chicken. And as your friend, I would love to experience your deep dive into fried chicken. So next time you come to my house, you're like, you guys, I'm going to make you some fried chicken. And then I'm going to make you this other fried chicken. And then I'm going to make you this fried chicken. And I'm going to go, oh, those are all 3 delicious fried chickens. Jules.
You just want me to do cool things so that you can reap the benefits from them.
Absolutely. Why else would you want your friends to do cool shit?
So that they could feel good about themselves and do what they want to do.
Yeah, you're not going to do anything that's not going to make you feel good about yourself. But if you're asking me what I think you should get into, I'm going to place my specific desires into the mix and go, make some goddamn fried chicken.
Fried chicken is what you would have me be good at.
Oh my God.
Not as easy as you think.
Or also fried fish.
Okay. When I come back from New York next time you see me, I'll have a nice recipe for that.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can like follow recipes and directions. Like when I cook, it's good. It was just like I just don't want to spend the time doing it. Yeah, that's my thing.
Right.
It's like, man, don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a wrap from the corner store instead.
Your rap game is tight.
Cooking.
Your rap game is fire.
It's just so simple. It's so easy.
I know. I get into raps.
I am into raps.
No,
dude.
but like you make the same rap.
Yeah. Well, no, not necessarily.
I've only had the same one.
Yeah, it's because I'm just getting the same ingredients at your house, and I'm not, dude. When I live in New York, I'm having a different lifestyle than when I'm living under your roof at your house, being an accessory to your life. I have a life.
To my life. You are a joy to be around. I just want a different kind of rap next time.
Then your wish is my command.
Mix it up. Fried chicken wrap, baby.
I can do those. Those are nice. Except for I just like when I get a wrap, I just want it to be kind of light and easy, and like it's done, and I get it down, and it's not like if it's fried chicken, I'm putting like some, like some deep like ranch heavy cream sauces on it. I'm putting some some marmalades on there, some thick cheeses.
You don't like your sweets and your tarts. You don't like your sweets and your savories. Don't lie to the folk at home.
No marmalade. Marmalade was just a word I was trying to use to make it sound like I was putting some stickies on it. But yeah, no, a fried chicken wrap would just defeat the purpose of it being a wrap. Yeah. It would be good, but it would just be heavy and dense, and that's not what I'm trying to do when I'm eating a wrap. We'll make it for dinner
sometime.
You want wraps for dinner?
If it's fried chicken.
I'll make you fried chicken this week if you want it.
Yes.
Don't know how to do it, but I'll listen to Marie Callender. Let's make some pot pies.
I'm gonna make some fried chicken tonight.
You should.
Dude, Taz made a chicken parma for Mac because it's his favorite meal. That was fire.
That was super good.
We should ask Tazzy to do it again.
Dude,
tonight.
I think my favorite dish of hers is the spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, it's fire.
It's cinnamon in it.
Yeah, it's annoying to make though.
Is it?
Yeah, it just takes forever. It takes her all day.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's like not a fun dish to make. I don't think. I mean, you just have to start it at noon because you gotta like let this. You just gotta simmer.
Some Madonna.
You folks at home, we love you very much. In the comment section, give Julian some ideas as to what
should I do with my life, guys? I'm lost.
You're not lost.
I'm lost.
But what? Well, maybe this is even better. What are you guys into? Because I think all three of us enjoy hearing from people about whatever it is they're super into. In fact, I toured with this guy who was really into making knives. That was like his side hustle. He just made knives.
Doyle.
Yeah.
Doyle?
Killer Knives, dude. Killer Knives.
Yeah, this guy
Nice.
Doyle that we toured with, he worked for OAR, and he was just like super into making knives, and just to hear him talk about it was like so exciting for me.
Yeah, cool.
And he made killer knives.
Beautiful
he made
craft. He still
awesome,
is. He still is.
beautiful knives.
Huh.
But does he make them still?
Yeah, it's like his business.
What is it? What's the Instagram?
Doyle Knives.
Oh God, this is
Doyle Knives. Oh God, this is perfect.
I'm on Instagram right now. Let's check it out. Shout out to Doy. There he is, Patrick Doyle, baby.
Shout out to Doy.
Look at these knives, dude.
Damn, those look pristine.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, those look real
custom
nice, real
craft.
nice, real nice. Yeah,
crazy.
I admire people who just like are just super about what they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's such a cool thing to see in anybody. I mean, and you're like that with acting. It's really cool to hear you describe your personal relationship with acting. It's super, super great. Shout out to DoyleKnives.com.
Shout out to Doy.
Get yourself some Doy.
Get yourself some Doy.
I love all of you at home. Thank you for watching and tuning in to the How Good's This podcast. Stay tuned.
We're gonna have
Stay
something,
well.
We're gonna have something real pleasurable
Stay
for
blessed.
the folks coming up soon, aren't we?
Yeah. Julian's gonna get into.
I'm gonna learn about what I
Eyebrow
need.
threading.
I'm gonna start piercing belly buttons for a living. You want one? You want a pierced belly button? Call your man JP Grabbles. I got you. You want my phone number? Too bad.
425-218-4243. We out.
Oh, boo-boo, did you just make it to the end of the video? Yes, you did. Do you want to see more videos just like this one, huh? Do you?
Well, then head over to patreon.com/Live at the Lodge, where you can support the How Good's This podcast, as well as the entire Live at the Lodge family.
Yep, yeah, you're going to get exclusive merch, personalized shout-out videos. Me and Jules, we're going to show up at your house and baptize your nephew, huh? Check it out, patreon.com/Live at the Lodge.